Good morning, students of class 9. I, J. Kumar, once again before you with one new topic and very important topic, and topic is electronic configuration of elements. Students, this is very important topic for you. So I am going to discuss this topic today before you so that you can learn how to do the electronic configuration of elements. Students, in class 9, first you have to memorize the atomic number of elements starting from hydrogen to calcium. This is mandatory, this is compulsory. All the students must know the atomic number of elements starting from atomic number 1 to atomic number 20. Because if you don't know the atomic number of elements, you cannot write the electronic configuration of elements. So this topic is related from atomic number. So atomic number, first of all, you must memorize at home. Okay? Now students, to write the electronic configuration of elements, one scheme was brought about, and that scheme was known as Bohr and Bury scheme. Bohr and Bury scheme. Bohr and Bury scheme. So if anyone asks you what is Bohr and Bury scheme, your answer should be a scheme that explains the distribution of electrons in the different orbits around the nucleus of an atom. Students, actually you have studied elements are made of only one kind of particles, and that particle is known as atom. So students, atom is supposed to be spherical in shape, and at the center of atom there is a heavy positively charged nucleus, and outside the nucleus there are different orbits or cells on which electrons revolve with high speed. These orbits on which electrons revolve with high speed is also known as energy levels, and this will you study in your fourth chapter, structure of atom. So there I will talk to you in details about the structure of atom. Hereby only you have to consider here atom is spherical, and at the center there is a heavy positively charged nucleus, and outside the nucleus there are different energy levels or different orbits or different cells which are denoted by English alphabet K, L, M, N and etc. K has the lowest energy. K is the lowest energy orbit, and as you move away from nucleus, the energy of orbits gets increased. So students, K is the first orbit, L is the second orbit, M is the third orbit, and so on. Okay? So students, in Bohr and Bury scheme, so many points have been discussed, but for you, only 2 points you have to keep in your mind starting with electronic configuration. And these 2 points I am going to discuss before you. First point is maximum number of electrons. Maximum number of electrons in any orbit is 2n to the power 2, means 2n square, where n equal to number of orbits. N equal to number of orbits. Suppose you want to know the maximum number of electron for first orbit. So for first orbit, the value of n will be 1. For second orbit, value of n will be 2, and for third orbit, value of n will be 3 and so on. So from this formula you can know the maximum number of electron in any orbit, right? Now this is second point of Bohr and Bury scheme is that in outermost orbit, there cannot be more than 8 electrons. There cannot be more than 8 electrons, whatever the orbit is that. So students, to understand the meaning of second point of Bohr and Bury scheme, I am going to put one example before you so that you can understand the meaning or concept hidden in the second point of Bohr and Bury scheme. For example, students, suppose someone asks you to write the electronic configuration of potassium. Can you tell me what is the symbol of potassium? Yes, K is right answer. K, this is the symbol of potassium. And atomic number of potassium is 19. So here in bracket I wrote 19. Atomic number actually students tell us about the number of electrons present in that atom. So in the atom of potassium there are in all 19 electrons. So we have to now distribute these 19 electrons in different orbits. So first of all, first orbit you have to show. Now in first orbit, from this formula, from 2n square formula, the maximum number of electron will be 2. So I wrote here 2. Now first orbit gets completed. After completion of first orbit, second orbit will start filling of electron. So here I wrote n. This is second orbit. Now students, in second orbits, maximum number of electrons from this formula, if you calculate it, it will be 8. So in second orbit, maximum number of electrons will be 8. So I wrote here 8. Now 2 and 8, 10 electrons we have accommodated. Rest 9 electrons we have to accommodate. So students, after second orbit, third orbit starts. In third orbit, as per this formula, the maximum number of electrons will be 18. But we have now not 18 electrons. Only 9 electrons we have. So I wrote here 9. But students, if you write 9 in the M orbit, which is the outermost orbit here, so as per second point of Bohr and Bury scheme, this will be wrong. Because second point of Bohr and Bury scheme tell us in outermost orbit there cannot be more than 8 electrons. So here certainly 9 will not be. So here 8 electrons will be maximum. Now 1 electron is rest with us. So that 1 electron will go into the next orbit. And this is n. So in n there will be 1 electron. Now students, this is the electronic configuration of potassium: 2, 8, 8 and 1. Now students, see, from this electronic configuration, so many information we get about potassium. So what information we get from electronic configuration? So first information, element is metal. It means potassium is metal. Why metal? Students, if in the outermost orbit there are 1 to 3 electrons present, then the element will be metal. except hydrogen and helium. This rule does not followed in case of hydrogen and helium. They are non-metals. But in rest other elements, this rule is followed. What rule? If in the outermost orbit there are 1 to 3 electrons, the element will be metal. As here in the outermost orbit of potassium, there is 1 electron, so potassium is a metal. So first information. Second, about valency. About valency. Students, here valency of potassium will be 1. Why 1? Why 1? So keep in mind, students, if in the outermost orbit there are 1 to 4 electrons, then the element, valency of element will be same. As in the outermost orbit of potassium, there is 1 electron, so valency of potassium will be 1. Suppose in outermost orbit there are 2 electrons, then what will be valency? 2. In case of 3, the valency will be 3. In case of 4, valency will be 4. But in case of 5, valency will not be 5. So, in case of more than 4 electrons in the outermost orbit, the valency is calculated by subtracting the outermost orbit electrons from 8. So, if an atom has 5 electrons in the outermost orbit, then the valency of that element will be 8 minus 5 equal to 3. So, students, keep in mind, if in the outermost orbit there are 1 to 4 electrons, valency will be same. But in case of more than 4 electrons, the valency will be 8 minus electrons present in the outermost orbit. So students, these two important information you can find out with help of electronic configuration. And if you get the valency of element, you will be successfully able to write the electronic configuration of any given substance. So this is very important topic, and I hope all will see this video and will try to learn the scheme, learn the main point of a scheme, and these 2 points will help you to do the electronic configuration of elements starting from hydrogen to calcium. So first you learn the electronic configuration up to atomic number 20, and after that some more points we will learn regarding electronic configuration of elements. Okay, thank you very much. Bye.